I didn't defend my wife when she was clearly wrong. My mother-in-law called me spineless at dinner because of what I did. My wife hasn't spoken to me in 3 days, but I'd do it again. Let me explain. My wife, Erin, has always had a temper. Not violent, just loud. When she's upset, everyone within a mile radius knows about it. I've always been the calm one, the peacemaker, the guy who smooths things over after she explodes. Last Saturday, we went to her cousin's baby shower. Everything was fine until we sat down at our assigned table. There was a woman already sitting there, late 20s, holding a sleeping newborn. Erin froze when she saw her. I didn't recognize the woman at first. Then it clicked. Kayla, Erin's former best friend from college, the one who supposedly stole her promotion at their old job 6 years ago. They hadn't spoken since. Erin turned to me immediately. We're leaving. I looked at the sleeping baby, at Kayla's tired eyes, at the fact that we'd driven 2 hours to get here. Can we just sit somewhere else? There's no other seats. Erin's voice was getting louder. I'm not sitting with her. Kayla looked up. Her face was exhausted. Erin, I don't want trouble. I'm just here for your cousin. You shouldn't be here at all. Erin shot back. People were starting to stare. The cousin hosting the shower walked over with concern on her face. Is everything okay here? Erin pointed at Kayla. Why did you invite her? You know what she did to me. The cousin looked uncomfortable. Kayla's been my friend for 3 years. I didn't think it would be an issue. Erin laughed. Not a real laugh. The kind that makes your stomach drop. Didn't think it would be an issue? She destroyed my career. Kayla stood up slowly. She was holding her baby close. Erin, that's not what happened. You know that's not what happened. Don't you dare. Erin stepped closer. You went behind my back. You took credit for my work. I got promoted because I worked overtime for 8 months while you called in sick every other week. The room went dead silent. I watched my wife's face change. Shock, then rage. That's a lie. Is it? Kayla's voice was calm but firm. You were going through something back then. I covered for you constantly. I never said a word to anyone, but when they offered me the promotion, I wasn't going to turn it down because you couldn't handle your personal life. Erin raised her hand, not to hit, to point, but her finger was shaking and her voice was getting louder. You're a liar and everyone here needs to know it. She turned to the entire room. This woman is a backstabber. She pretends to be your friend and then steals everything from you. The cousin stepped forward. Erin, please, you're making a scene. I'm making a scene? Erin laughed again. That bitter laugh. You invited the woman who ruined my life and I'm making a scene? That's when Kayla's baby started crying. The loud kind. Kayla looked down at her child and I saw tears forming in her eyes. She was trying to bounce the baby gently while my wife continued her rant. Erin stopped. My voice came out louder than I intended. Everyone turned to look at me, including my wife. Her eyes were wide. I'd never told her to stop in public before. I'd always had her back. Always. You're scaring the baby, I said quietly, and you're embarrassing yourself. Erin's mouth opened, then closed, then opened again. You're taking her side? I'm not taking anyone's side. I took a breath, but I remember that year too. I remember the doctors. I remember the medication. I remember you calling in sick because you couldn't get out of bed. The room was so quiet I could hear my own heartbeat. Erin's face crumbled. Not with sadness, with betrayal. You promised you'd never bring that up. I'm not bringing it up to hurt you. I stepped closer. But you're standing here calling this woman a liar when you know the truth. When I know the truth, my wife looked at me like I was a stranger. Then she grabbed her purse and walked out. She didn't say goodbye to her cousin. Didn't look at anyone. I stayed, apologized to the room, sat through the rest of the shower alone, while Kayla kept her distance, and the cousin pretended nothing happened. When I got home 4 hours later, my mother-in-law was at our house. Erin had called her crying. The next 2 hours were the worst of my marriage. Spineless. Traitor. How could you humiliate her like that? I didn't defend myself. I just listened. 3 days of silence now. Erin sleeps in the guest room. Won't look at me at breakfast. Won't respond to texts. But yesterday I got a message from an unknown number. It was Kayla. Thank you. Nobody's ever stood up for me against her before. She's been telling that story for 6 years, and I've never corrected anyone because I didn't want to embarrass her about her mental health struggles. But watching her attack me in front of my newborn while you just sat there would have broken me. I showed Erin the message this morning. She read it twice. Then she started crying. Real crying. We have our first couples therapy appointment on Thursday.